Hey guys, welcome back to the Motion Raceworks YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the Icon throttle body and our newest attachment. We're going to show you on Bubba's Nova, which is an old project from the channel, but we're bringing it back because quite frankly, this is one of the products inspired by this build and we finally got around to getting to it. This product is applicable and very beneficial to a wide array of builds, especially ones using our Icon throttle body, but we wanted to show you how it was inspired, why it's a beneficial thing, and so here we go. So we wanted to show you, this car's been together for a while. If you remember correctly, or maybe you don't, we built this with the LSA. This is a generic LS swap. I think it might have the dirty dingo mounts in it, but put a pretty typical location. One of the things that happens on a lot of vehicles with these front mount superchargers is they have an angled inlet that sticks way far forward, which creates a little bit of a challenge. I mean, we have this Icon throttle body, which is a little dirty from being used, but our throttle body is by far the shortest on the market because we remove the front 1/3 of the throttle body to make an attachment. So the transition period is a lot shorter than a typical throttle body. And even with our V-band and short radius bend, you can see here that we ended up having to get creative with some fabrication to make it clear this radiator core support. That's fine and everything, but we wanted to make it easier. That took some time, and of course, I think it can even look better and nicer yet by doing it the way I'm about to show you guys. And this new attachment can be used on more than just an LSA. It can be used on other blowers with angled exit, and as well as NA and turbo and all those other applications. But this is inspiration, so we'll show you how it works. So this attachment is actually 60 degrees. 90 was too far, as you can see. It would go right over the top of this power steering pump, which could cause issues, and it's really just angling back too far. 45 wasn't quite enough. 60 seemed to be a good intermediary. And what you'll notice is this one doesn't have a fixed flange on it, and I'll show you why. Well, quite frankly, it's rotatable. So depending on how things are routed, where you're going, whether you have a power steering pump here or any other accessories, this thing is nice to be able to clock things. And really what we're trying to achieve with this application and this attachment, interchangeable connection, if you will, is to allow for that adaptability. So because this thing is a 92 millimeter, we have this little adapter ring. That means that we can use the same attachment, whether it's a 92 or a 102. We wanted to make sure that this was a usable product. And if you were a shop that was keeping these on the shelf, you don't necessarily need to have a bunch of these laying around. It'll go back and forth between them. If we want to use this on a 102 millimeter throttle body, we'll just take that adapter ring out. So the neat thing is this goes to a V-band that we can taper from 4 to 3.5 to 3 inch on that side, just like a regular V-band. But also we have an attachment that you can buy that actually holds a 4-inch silicone coupler. So if you wanted to put a air filter right off the end of this, say you had a little bit different engine bay or more room, you can actually just use this in place of the standard V-band flange and then put that air cleaner right on there. So just kind of giving you options, especially in race applications, to what would work the best for you. So now I remember even more why this thing was such a tight area. Shout out to Billet Specialties. They make the best front drive accessories for these things. Can't even tell you how many miles are on this project. It's 2 or 3 years old and it worked perfectly. Never a belt slip, never an issue. Everything packages tight, clear as factory stuff on a 72 Nova. So if you guys want just a perfect working serpentine system for an LSA, or I would assume most applications, Billet Specialties, that comes as a complete kit with the pump and everything, so you don't have to source anything, even including an alternator. It's worth the extra money. To not have to worry about that stuff, perfection. But you can see that things are a little tight in here. Again, not only is it about that, it's about serviceability there. So we're gonna go ahead and take this front interchangeable connection off. That's the novelty and the patented concept behind the Icon. Take these 4 bolts off, pop this out, put the new one on. We don't have to buy a whole new throttle body, just the attachment change. And the best part about it is there's no fabrication or welding on the throttle body itself. So once it's done, nice anodized, you know, really all you gotta do is clean it up. So you can see now that this front half's removed. So we're gonna use these handy little retainers. One of the questions we've gotten since we released this is, will this seal or will this be a vacuum leak? It uses the same novel and patented radial seal that the rest of our attachments do. So really this keeper is just built differently, but it's gonna seal up just as good, just the same. And you'll be back in business. So again, turbo, NA, pre or post MAF type of stuff, you're good to go. So it's gonna go right in there, and then we put those attachments on later. This slides in, and you can see how cool this thing is because it can obviously work at 360 degrees. Actually, got to push that back in there, but it can turn. I don't know why you'd have it upward unless you were on the Cletus McFarlane Racing channel, but you can turn it to adjust and make small adjustments, so that when you buy this billet piece, you know that you can, you know, clock it to work perfectly. So these are essentially what this was previously on the outside. These pieces right here, which are pretty cool pieces we machined at Motion in Iowa, will accomplish the same thing. So they'll go around the corners to retain it and give yourself a nice snug fit. Pretty crazy the stuff we come up with and are able to make in Iowa. All this stuff is made in the USA, in DeWitt, Iowa. I guess everything but this V-band clamp, which is also made in the USA. Got our logo on it. See if you can see that. There you go. So you can see these kind of interchange and assemble like puzzle pieces. There's like a top and a bottom here, the way they go together. So basically just kind of feed them in and start them in, start building the pieces. And just tighten all four of them. Just one extra step, but I think it's well worth it to get and attain the goal that you're going for there. Believe it or not, those pieces go on really easy. So you just start at the hardest corner, get it started, and then work around. And I already got two in less than a couple minutes. Put the last 2 bolts in, and then we'll tighten them up. So a little bit of a cheat code. My operations manager is also building an LSA Nova, basically identical to this, and he went ahead and made me a tube up ahead of time. So this is kind of that attachment right there. This was made to go right in the silicone coupler, and then right on the end of this. So if you were like, you know, say in an engine bay without any of that stuff and you just wanted to have the shortest tube possible, you could just put it right on there and have a filter come right off the end of it. Of course, clockable, you know, as we're talking about. But we got the tube, so I'll kind of show you guys just the beauty of this thing. You can obviously see how close it starts getting to the pulley down there, but what this allows us to do is optimize getting close to that, but then also making the hood fit. You can put the V-band on it and get as close as you feel comfortable with, keep things as low profile as possible. I took the windshield washer reservoir out because Jared had made this pre-made tube, so I wanted to use it for illustrative purposes, though I might be modifying it slightly in the long run. Apparently his isn't a factory concourse car quite like mine is, or like Bubba's car is, but nevertheless, you now have V-band adjustability this way, you have the clockability this way. Very short, clears everything in the front, even with a big radiator and Durali fans. So I don't know what else more you could ask for in a throttle body. All this without welding to the actual nice anodized or polished throttle body. So really just kind of a product we dreamed up, and you can see the functionality in it on a supercharged car with an angled inlet. Huge benefit. And then of course there's plenty of stuff like side exit, you know, Ford style intakes and NA stuff and everything. Just whatever you want, whether you want this or you want a 90 or just a regular V-band or a silicone coupler, quick seal, boost coupler. We got it all at Motion Raceworks. T's, Y's, Really, we're trying to make this a single solution so that as your build changes, whether it's nitrous or turbo or NA supercharged, we got what you need. All right, guys, so without making this video any longer than it needs to be, that is the beauty of the Icon throttle body. 4 bolts, interchangeable to a different style connection so that you can change your setup, dial it in, route it however you want without having to fabricate and weld on a throttle body, which, believe it or not, actually starts to, you have a good chance of ruining bearings, ruining seals, distorting the throttle body. Nothing good can really come of it. So why don't you make it easy on yourself and grab that thing, change the connector as you want it. And again, we all know how many times projects change. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is just another product spotlight at Motion Raceworks. We'll continue to come out with new products like this so that we can make your build easier. All these products are made to save time, make things nicer, cleaner, easier, so you can enjoy your hot rod or race car more and work on it less. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.